Okay, we back, y'all. Back in the sister wives sidebar conversations because we don't watch whole episodes here. We just not here. If you're looking for that, go somewhere else with it. But anyway, welcome to. But the caveat is, I'm your host, Blue. So listen, this is Janelle meeting up with Kody. I have a lot of thoughts here. Okay, but I want y'all to listen to this conversation. I'm gonna talk through it, some of it, but I this was very telling.
I wanted to fly out here and meet with you. Basically, I just wanted to come and say that I apologize.
Wow. All right.
Yeah. Oh, I have a list.
Okay.
I just love to apologize for. The first thing is I want to kind of go backwards. I want to apologize for just being so angry and so bitter over the family breakup. It just nobody deserves.
I have thoughts. Here's where I'm like peeved about this whole apology. I'm glad that he's starting to apologize, but the first thing he should have started off is I apologize for how I handled our children. And I believe that he'll never do this. Our son Garrison suffered the most from how I behaved with them and with you. And I want to say I'm sorry about that. I can't change what happened with him, but I want to make amends. If he would have said that, I would believe this whole apology wholeheartedly. But he doesn't do that. He doesn't even mention their son Garrison in any of this. And towards the end of the conversation, which I don't even know if it has in this clip, but he did not apologize at all for what he did with the boys and Garrison. So I'm not believing this apology. A lot of sister wife commentary folks are believing it. Some aren't believing it, like me. Janelle is obviously all in because she's like, wow, like this shitty ass apology she was impressed with. And it, but I have thoughts about that, but I'm going to hold off.
To have me be that angry.
Wow. Thanks. Yeah. I kept thinking, I don't know who this guy is. I used to always tell everybody I'm.
Janelle, that man has always been mean to y'all. He's always been mean. He's always been a dickhead. We're like, stop acting like this man hasn't always been toxic since the beginning of time. He's been consistent in his toxic behaviors with all of you. But because it was pinpointed at one wife at this point, one wife at that point, and not you at until later when Robin gets in, oh, you don't know who this person is. Your your sister wife just wrote a book about how this man talked down to her, wouldn't have sex with her unless she was completely covered in garments, and didn't do any foreplay. Let it be known to the world that he found her disgusting and didn't love her. Why are we acting like this man has just started getting toxic? Bitch, please. Because he showed your sons a little bit of attention because they were boys, not because he cared about them. It was because they were boys and he could connect with them on a low functioning level of masculinity. Like, come on, Janelle.
Like, this is not the guy that I was married to forever. Like, you know what I mean? So.
Yeah,
Janelle.
you weren't the only one saying that.
The person I would see.
When he says you weren't the only one saying that, he's referring to Robin. Robin, we know, is not genuine about anything. And this whole spiel that him and Robin have conjured was, this isn't who you are. Who are you? Blah, 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 blah nonsense. We're not buying it, Kody and Robin. This PR tour, this ain't an apology tour. This is a PR tour to try to fix his image. And there might be a smidgen, small percentage, like 2% of dum-dums that believe this BS that they're spilling, him and Robin.
Speaking all these things publicly, I'm like, I don't know who that guy is. I still don't recognize him. It's like, again, like somebody I've seen that I used to know a long time ago. Lots of pieces that I recognize, lots of common things that we can remember together, but I don't recognize him. He lives a completely different life, it feels like now. So do I. I never saw this coming in a million years, right? Like when the family fell apart, I mourned more the loss of the.
I'm so annoyed with her right now. She really looks through life with rose-colored glasses. How did you not see this coming? He was funneling money from the bank account, the family fund to him and Robin's account. He was spending all the money on him and Robin. He was limiting his time with you. You even admitted that on your birthday, he got mad at you because he had to be back and he felt under pressure because Robin was on his ass about being away from the kids. Like, how did you not see this coming? Oh my God. Like, she needs to go to therapy. She needs to go to therapy, bring the clips of the show, and her and the therapist need to go from season just one episode by episode and show her that this shit was coming. Intellectually, she claims to be so intellectual, intelligent. I don't find her very intelligent. I find Janelle to be a pushover, easily manipulated, and she has low self-esteem, so low that she would accept this shitty ass apology he gave her, so low that she would turn a blind eye to him neglecting her kids and showing another wife's kids all the affection, all the resources, pinching pennies to make ends meet, while this man lived the high life with his favorite wife. Janelle has a low self esteem. I don't find her emotionally intelligent at all. Maybe she might be intellectually intelligent. Who knows? I don't care. But I'm talking about the emotional part. She is lacking. She is lacking for a woman in her 50s. She is lacking.
Ideal of what we were trying to do, right?
I understand that.
We had that ideal, like when we all got together and we were going to raise the kids, and thank goodness the kids are all still pretty much their siblings, really, you know? And that was one of the biggest things that
That's the most inaccurate thing she said. All the children are not siblings, okay? Leon barely talks to some of the siblings. Nobody talks to Robin's kids. So clearly they don't include Robin's kids as the children. And Robin doesn't include their children as her and Cody's children. So the feeling's mutual. But that's not true. Peyton and Gwen, who share the same mother and father, don't speak. Gwen refuses to be in the same room with him. You can't tell me that everybody they're so like siblings. Hell, McKelty don't get along with anybody but Madison and a sprinkle of the other siblings that are from her bloodline. Her and Leon don't even have a relationship. They never they struggled. I don't know if they got a relationship now. I don't think they do because she never talks as if she talks to Leon. Hell, I don't even think Leon talks to anybody. So this ideal in her head is very delusional. And it may be from her standpoint of her 5 children, how they connected with some of Christine's kids. But Janelle's memory and thoughts of things are very distorted. And it could be because of the statement she's about to make.
we did accomplish. We had this idea, this whole ideal, right, of how it was going to be. Like, I think when I finally left Kody, I thought about the family so much more than our relationship for many, many, many years. I think he and I especially really held that ideal of the family, like this family unit thing that would work out. And I think maybe I lost track of our relationship, and it might have been detrimental, really.
You did lose track of the relationship so much so that you didn't realize that you weren't married to this man. This man, he wasn't even thinking about your relationship. He was worried about Robin. He didn't care about y'all. All he wanted to do was make sure he had access to y'all bank accounts. That's it. So much so that he had Meri bring in her accountant so that he and Robin could audit her. The audacity of those two. But my whole thing with Janelle is her thinking about things is so freaking distorted. So distorted. It wasn't that you lost track, honey. And it wasn't that you left him. He pushed you out, ma'am. Christine and Janelle, Christine and Janelle, if no one's going to tell you, Kody pushed you out. You did not leave. You were forced out. That's what happened. Because Robin made up these ridiculous rules that she didn't follow. Kody enforced them. And when you guys didn't follow the ridiculous rules so that they can have a good laugh. They separated Kody from you guys as punishment. You finally decided, well, you know what? Oh, well, he's not coming back. Let's join us together as a family. Let's start hanging together. And that's what pissed Robin off even much more, that she would send Kody out to terrorize y'all and come to your houses and yell at the wives. So y'all were pushed out. Stop this narrative that y'all left. You didn't leave, Janelle. You didn't leave. You were pushed out. And you even said it. Remember when you told Kody to shut the fuck up and let you talk a minute when you were sitting on that couch? You admitted that it feels like he was pushing you out. It wasn't a feel, honey. It was that he was pushing you out. And that's what happened. Y'all didn't leave. None of y'all left. All y'all got pushed out right along with Meri. I feel like sometimes they try to separate themselves from Meri because Meri didn't have it was obvious that Meri didn't have a relationship. She was clear about it. Y'all were clear that she didn't have a relationship, but y'all weren't clear that y'all didn't have a relationship with him anymore. It wasn't that you lost track of the relationship now. And the fact that she's accepting responsibility and somewhat apologizing for her role in it, which is okay because you do that when you're in relationships. You do play a role in it, but I don't think that's part of what she needs to apologize for. That's in my opinion. That's just my opinion.
It probably should have been focused a little bit more on our relationship and not so much the family.
I want
So to hear her apologize gives me the ick. But then there was a part of the conversation which I don't feel like searching through here to find it. She was super excited and they started doing a lot of life review. And he was apologetic and saying that he should have protected her, aka I should have protected you from Meri. So once again, Meri gets scapegoated and thrown underneath the bus. Y'all need to stop doing that. So this is why what irritates me about why she was so happy to accept this apology. That wasn't an apology. That was an excuse. He was blaming Meri's behavior for him not stepping up to her as why he was a bad husband. No. He was a bad husband because he neglected you. He neglected his children. Your husband, he neglected his responsibilities to your children as their father. Not because Meri was this big, mean, bad wolf fighting with you over dish liquid, over oranges and shit. And here's what irritates me about Janelle and them. The excuses that they use for why Meri was so bad, blah, 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 blah. Christine talking about how Meri yelled at McKelty about begging for money. Yeah, she going to tell her, like, stop begging for money. That's not a good look for the family. That's nothing wrong with telling her not to do that. But y'all take anything, the smallest infraction, and make it such a big thing. There's nothing yet that I've seen that they said that Meri has done that warrants this label that they're putting on Meri. I'm not saying Meri ain't nasty. She is. But the way y'all to sit here and just let this man give y'all these cockamamie apologies, blaming his first wife for his behavior is ridiculous. And then Janelle was just a horny woman in this conversation because she got so excited and was even flirting with Kody during this conversation, reminiscing about, the sweet, he kept saying how tender and sweet and soft the relationship was, blah, 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 and how his relationship with her made him second guess polygamy, aka I was thinking about leaving Meri for you. And then he just went against that once he got a younger and quote unquote prettier wife. I don't think Robin's pretty, but a younger woman, and he decided, okay, well, she's good enough for me to leave the family for. The thing about it is, and she was like flattered by him saying that. And I was just like, you just horny. And Janelle told us that because she said, those horny pains, they get to you after a while, the hormones and shit. I think Janelle wanted to take him in the backseat of his car and just wear him out, blow his back out. And I think she would have if the cameras were. I think Janelle was just horny in this conversation, was willing to accept anything. The crumbs of this apology was terrible. And Janelle, you're terrible for allowing him to throw Meri underneath the bus. And then she co-signs it a lot. They all co-sign him throwing Meri underneath the bus. I, I don't like Meri. I don't. But I think she was scapegoated in his family because she did behave poorly, and she became quickly unliked because she was so direct. And because she was so direct, she was easy target to be blamed for everything. So much so that this man is sitting right here, skipping over the fact that he mistreated his children and that he neglected his children. He caused such a stir in the family that Garrison's mental health started to decline and ultimately unalive himself. He has to hold some ownership of that. Instead, he's blaming Meri. Once again, scapegoating poor Meri. But you know what? She deserves it because Meri always covered for him. Still to this day, he doesn't want to spill any tea, but fought tooth and nail not to have an NDA for what? Meri, why did you fight the NDA? That's a real question for me because you know you ain't gonna tell shit. So why are you fighting it? I guess for a storyline. But anyway, I digress. But tell me what you think. Do you think this apology was a good apology? I only showed you a clip of it. You got to go watch the episode to see the rest of it. But anyway, make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you leave a 5-star rating. Y'all have a good night.